Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about operations on decimals. We're going to go over the facts on how to do all of them: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division in this one video. Decimals are really similar to your whole number operations. You just have to do something a little different with the end, but the arithmetic will all be the same. So let's talk about adding decimals. Notice how I put the whole numbers lined up. When you're lining up decimals, that's a little different because you want to line up the whole numbers with the whole numbers, like over here, and then the decimals with the decimals. And then you just add down. 4 plus 0 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. Bring your decimal place down. And then 1 plus 3 is 4. See, essentially it is similar to adding with whole numbers, but you just have to account for the fact you have a decimal after decimal place and the numbers that follow after it. The same thing with subtraction. You want to make sure you line up your whole numbers with your whole numbers and then your decimals with your decimals and just bring everything down, including your decimal point. So just like normal subtraction, 8 minus 0 is 8. 6 minus 1 is 5. 4 minus 2 is 2. Bring down your decimal point, and then 7 minus 3 is 4. So addition and subtraction are just really similar to your operations with whole numbers, as long as you're remembering to make sure your columns line up appropriately. Now let's talk about multiplication. The way I learn multiplication is I essentially ignore the decimal point until the very, very end. So say I have 3.3 times 1.2. I'm actually going to treat this as if I'm multiplying 33 times 12. So if I go over to my second one, 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Add your 0 as your placeholder. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. I add down. Now I'm going to rewrite that number over here, 396. So this is where I incorporate my decimals. I start at the end and I count over, depending on how many numbers are after the decimal place. So if we're looking in this problem, we have this 3 and this 2. That's the total amount of numbers that are after our decimal place. So I'm going to move our decimal here over 2 spots. 1, 2. So our number is actually 3.96. That's our decimal place, and that's how you find it when you're doing a multiplication problem. Now let's look at division. I'm going to do a whole number going into a decimal. So say we have 12.46 divided by 3. I'm going to put our 3 on the outside, then 12. After I write the first 2 numbers, then the decimal goes on top in that spot, and then 46. That's how I incorporate the decimal into the division problem. It just goes right on top where it would go as if it were in the number itself. We know 3 goes into 12 4 times. You have 12, 0, bring down the 4. 3 goes into 4 once. 3, 1, 16. 3 goes into 16 times at 12, so we have remainder 2. I could keep dividing it out, but I obviously ran out of space on the screen. But it's just to show you where the decimal place goes when you're doing a division operation. And when you're writing out your division process, what you want to do is you want to write your numbers. Once you hit the decimal point, put it right up top, and then continue writing the numbers after the decimal. That's your operations with decimals. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask your teacher or your tutor, and have a great time studying math.